Hello, what is up guys? EvilDuosArm here today, and today I have for you a video where we're going to be looking at the mechanics of the mini-raid sort of dungeon area, Snowjade Fortress. So this is a raid that you can do on your weekly challenge, the weekly challenge raids that you need to do to go ahead and unlock the soul shield pieces for your Raven set if you want to get those if you're a new player, or for a good amount of gold and materials just as a normal player trying to gear up and get materials. So this boss is actually a relatively easy boss. It's just needing to know the mechanics. AP wise, you probably need about 850 to 900 AP to go ahead and run this. Super simple little thing. This first mini boss in the area, the Dark Yeti, he has basically one mechanic that you need to go ahead and do, and that is kill the Yetis as they walk down the stairs. So Yetis are going to walk down the stairs, these 4 sets of stairs that you see here on the minimap, and go ahead and throw projectiles at your party. If you get a target underneath your feet, and if I get one I'll point it out, otherwise you'll just have to believe me that you'll get a target underneath your feet, and you'll have to go ahead and kill the Yetis as they come down the stairs if that happens. Otherwise, just go ahead and Dps the Boss. Super simple. And I'm going to get started on that right now. So once again, this boss has the same exact attack animations as the Angler Yeti boss did on like when you first started playing the game. Or if you haven't first started playing the game and you're relatively new, you probably haven't even ever run the dungeon before, so there you go on that one. But yeah, it's a really simple attack pattern. He just does 3 attacks, a jump attack if you're out of range of him, just like you saw right there, and this is the phase where the Yetis spawn. As you can see, some Yetis came down the stairs, and I have a target underneath my feet. So since I have a target underneath my feet, that means I need to go ahead and kill the Yetis around the outside. So all I gotta do is kill the Yetis around the outside. It's really quite simple. Once again, I have another target underneath my feet, so I gotta kill another Yeti on the outside. Once that target goes away, or if it goes away before the boss is dead, so the target's away, so I can go back to DPSing the boss. If I was a good person, I could continue to attack Yetis, but I'm just gonna go ahead and finish off the boss since we're so close to actually clearing him. So yeah, that's it guys. That is the first boss. It's really quite simple to go ahead and do. So that's our first boss in this little mini raid. So we're going to go ahead on into the next boss, which is actually the Twin Asura mini boss sort of thing. So in this arena, and while we're waiting for people to come in, I'll go ahead and explain it. So you can see that there are 6 lines around the floor here. So we have one right here, we have one right here, one right there, one on the opposite side of the boss, one on the opposite side of the boss over here, and one right here. What you're going to want to do is split up your party to 2 people on each line. So I usually take the one in the back because nobody wants to go that far back, but hey, there's somebody going to it right now. So go ahead and split yourself up into pairs of 2 for this. So the reason you're doing this is because this is where the orbs are going to spawn. The orbs are going to spawn along the line. They're going to spawn out here and drift towards the boss. What you need to do is you need to block or counter the orb. Every single class has a block or a counter that blocks projectiles, so what you're going to want to do is spec your block for that. So for example, for me, Gunslinger, my block is on the 1 key, my standoff skill. It will counter the attack, and I'll counter the orb. So when we get to that point, I'll make sure to call it out as long as I'm not tanking. So we have everybody in here, and they are ready to go, so we're going to go ahead and start up the boss. The boss has basically like standard attack pattern. You know, he's just going to do X things. You're going to have stuff on the ground. You'll be able to see how much damage you're doing or where you're supposed to be standing to avoid doing the most damage and all that good stuff. So like you see right there, there's the things on the ground that tell you where to stand so you don't end up killing yourself. Really quite simple. So I'm going to take aggro here, I think. Oh, no. The other guy must have threat spec, so I guess I'm in the clear. I can go ahead and just DPS all I want. But anyway, so as you can see, the boss is going to attack the closest person, or the person that's doing the most damage, rather. So a thing to note about this boss is that if you are a ranged character and you are tanking the boss, you're going to want to make sure you stand near the boss, because if you stand away, he does a whole bunch of damage to your whole party. So this is the phase where he's going to go ahead and pick who he wants to shoot, and it looks like he's picking me, which blows. So I'm going to eye frame that, but these are the orbs you need to go ahead and block. So you see right there, I blocked 1 orb. We got 1 orb blocked. Cool. So the next orb's going to spawn right here, and as you can see, it spawns on the line. My person that is supposed to be with me is not with me, so I'm just going to go ahead and block that orb as well. So now that this is over, it's going to be an ice or a sword dropping phase. So the ice dropping phase, just look on the ground and look out for those things. So you see the little thing right there popping on the ground. If you have a red orb above your head like I do, step over a blue flower. If you have a blue orb above your head, step over a red flower. Super simple. You want to step on the opposite color of the flower. Really quite easy on that. So once again, just dodge crap on the floor when he goes to throw it, and continue to DPS the boss. So after that first phase, we're going to go back to like a normal DPS phase against the boss. Very simple. Just go ahead and continue DPSing the boss until he gets down to about 50%-ish is when he's going to do his next phase. So when we get to that, you'll see he's going to suck everybody in and go ahead and get mad and try and do the same exact thing he just did, where he's going to spawn the orbs and do everything. Now, if you don't block the orb, so if you forget to block an orb or if you miss too many orbs, the boss will enrage and he will kill your entire party. So you want to make sure that you are blocking your orbs. You do not want to miss orbs on this boss. Same thing with regular VT. If you miss orbs, you're going to die. So here we are, 50% phase. He's going to go ahead and suck us all back in. Make sure you SS out of this middle, otherwise you'll take that big AoE fire blast that you saw right there. and he's going to go ahead and start marking people to shoot them. So this is, again, what you want to do is block the orbs as they come to you, and just like that. Now the boss is going to look at you and like put his swords together when he's doing that ranged attack, so if that's looking at you, make sure you are prepared to iframe that. So once again, the second orb is spawning. Go ahead and block the second orb. Very simple. We've got both of our orbs blocked here. If you want to be a good person, you can look around and try and catch any that anybody might have missed. So now you can see I have a blue orb above my head, so I'm going to step on a red flower. So I've stepped on my red flower. And basically just look out for the fire swords that are being dropped. So once you've gotten through this phase, he's going to suck everybody back in, and he's going to go back to the main DPS phase. We're going to be doing this down to about 33%. So just again, just go back into your normal DPS phase. Really, really simple. Alright, so we're reaching our final phase mechanic here. So once again, this is the point where you make sure you do not miss any orbs. If you miss an orb now, it could result in a wipe, and you'd have to do this all over again, and it sucks having to do it all over again. So this guy's got this one covered pretty darn well, so I'm going to look to try and cover up someone else that might have missed one. Looks like everybody got their orb, which is no, we got 2 misses right there. Fantastic. Alright, so these guys aren't blocking orbs, so we need to make sure that we got somebody blocking orbs here. So I'm going to go ahead and cover that orb for them. And now I am the tank, so fantastic. It's a fire phase, so I need to go ahead and dodge these fire swords as they drop from the sky. So just walk around if you are tanking and dodge the fire orbs and bring them around. He's going to go ahead and absorb the vitality blooms, and I have to get back into the melee range to go ahead and continue tanking him. So once again, even though I'm a ranged character, I want to be in melee range when I tank this boss, because if I stand too far away, he's going to go ahead and do an AoE attack that hits everybody in the arena. Otherwise, if you're tanking this boss, it's pretty simple. It's just sidestep back and forth, or if you're an actual tank, you can block stuff like this attack. I can go ahead and block it and counter it, so I don't have to worry about actually taking any damage from that. Another one, if you see the floor, the square icon, you can just go ahead and sidestep that. This one, it doesn't really do enough damage to be worried about, so you can just go ahead and tank that. This one you can block with a counter again. Very simple. Yeah, just about all of his attacks can be countered, actually. The only one that will actually do any like CC knock up to you is going to be the ones where he does like an uppercut with his sword, that square pattern. That one right there will CC you if you get hit by it. So make sure not to get hit by that attack if you are tanking. Same thing with that one. It was a square uppercut, and I once again got hit by it. Once again, that's an attack that doesn't really do too much damage, nothing to worry about. And then we have the 3 frontal attack that's not going to do too much. I'm going to counter it anyway because I don't feel like getting hit. You know, I just want to flex on him. But anyway, that is it, guys. Super simple. So just to recap the boss itself, make sure you're blocking your orbs. The orbs will always spawn on a straight line, so go ahead and spawn these. Stand on the straight line to block the orbs. If you are the tank, make sure you stay in melee range. And just avoid the attacks. And then also, if you get the orb color on your head, step on a flower of the opposite color to go ahead and do the mechanic for that to reduce the healing the boss receives. Also, make sure to pick up your green chest before you leave. And I would always recommend going with the Hive Queen wings because you're going to need a lot of them later in the game. No matter what class or character or where you are in the game, you're going to need a lot of Hive Queen wings, and they are harder to come by. So always recommend those. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you found the video useful. If you did find the video useful, make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe so you can stay updated on all the content that comes out on the channel. And once again, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you at the next video. Peace.